I joined the circle group. While I was going through your message, I went through the 40 days reset program. Between then and now, I've seen a lot has changed. All because, some of your messages, some of your leadership words, encouragement on how we should follow procedures. Some of these things, the way you talk it, you make it seem as if it's not difficult.
I went back to the 40-day reset. So in one of it, that if I start thinking about being a victim or anything, it's not going to help me and it's not going to help my employer as well. So every day when I'm driving to work, I play each of those things and it has really helped me. Wow. Oh, it has helped me. Wow. I found out that the way I see myself has really, really changed.
I immediately joined Circle and started the 40-day reset. It has been absolutely life-changing for me as far as a mindset shift that I didn't know I needed.
It's a very wonderful mental reset. If you're just joining in here and you have not tried that, please just go and check it out. I can promise you will come back and testify.
I joined the circle group. While I was going through your message,
Dear leader, the time of increased uncertainty, unpredictability, and volatility is not a time to shrink. It's a time to expand. That is why I'm inviting you to join me and a small group of leaders on May 23 and 24, 2025 in Lagos, Nigeria. Yes, you need to see with new eyes, right? To recognize the opportunities and the obstacles. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing together at the Business and Leadership Accelerator Roundtable. Remember, Accelerator. Some people are going to go 10x, 100x, 1000x after this session together. The first day we meet together, it's networking. That's one of the major places where you make your money at a meeting like this. And then most of the day on Saturday, 24th May. So register right away, grab your seat. See you on May 23. Dear leader, the time of increase.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today on this Leadership Live. Sorry, it took us a few minutes to get on. How's your day been? That is, if it's late in the day at your end, like it is where I am, but then it may just be early morning at your end, like if you're in Australia or New Zealand. Okay, so welcome to this Leadership Live. We are a community of leaders spread all over the world who believe that everyone has the capacity or the potential, to lead. Because leadership for us is not essentially occupying a position. Leadership for us is the ability to influence one or more people to achieve worthwhile goals. Goals that bring improvement to individual lives, to families, to organizations, to our communities, and to our world. So we believe that everyone can lead. So if it's your first time of joining us, we want you to please remember this. You can lead right where you are. You have the potential to lead. My personal story supports that fact because I didn't think I was leadership material, essentially because I am introverted, right? And I thought, it's the people that can express themselves and have what we call charisma. That can lead and should lead. But here we are, because I discovered all of us already possess some leadership qualities. The ones we don't have, we can cultivate, right? So thank you. Thank you. So thank you for joining us. Yeah, let's see the city and country you're joining us from. That's our usual practice here because it's a global community. All right. All right. Oh, wow. Sam, thank you. Yes, I know you're in Kumasi. So you just arrived in Accra. Fantastic for the Dolos conference. I can't wait. I am looking forward. Okay, I am looking forward. Yes, everyone in Ghana or who is close to Ghana, the flight from Lagos, Nigeria, is about 45 minutes, between 45 to 50 minutes. And even then, there are two countries between Nigeria and Ghana, right? So if you can make your way down to the International Central Gospel Church, founded by Dr. Mensa Otabil, that's where we're having the Doulos Conference from Tuesday to Thursday of this week. It's an international conference for pastors to sharpen our leadership edge and help us to serve the people we lead with excellence. This one is going to be revolutionary, okay? So thank you, Sam. I look forward to seeing you. Oh, thank you, Divine from Abuja, and Dr. Steven here in Lagos. Amazing. He's taking some bold steps, right? Based on the things we're sharing in our community. I'll tell you what. So when you are someone who shares, right? Who shares the principles, the methods, the tactics that work for you, and people apply them, nothing makes you happier than that. That's the pay that we get for this job. Thank you, Pastor Tim from Chicago. You're so consistent. Really appreciate you. Adebola from the UK. Thank you. Tinashe, Philip from Zimbabwe. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, Joel, amazing. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Yes, we saw yesterday, right? Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Adebola, thank you. And Shola is in Lagos. How can I get the hard copy of the book Shift in Lagos? Two places. First, the bookshop at Daystar Christian Center, Ikosi Road, Oregon, Lagos, and from Robin Heights Bookshop. Robin Heights, right? You can just Google Robin Heights Bookshop and you'll be able to find their locations. Jacob from Zambia, Joseph from Kaduna, Abraham from Port Harcourt, Joseph from Nairobi, Ibi from Toronto. You see the way I call Toronto, right? Yes, I don't call it Toronto anymore because the residents taught me how to call it. Good. Fumi from Lagos. You see, this is a global event. Can you help me to do something? While we get started, can you just repost, share, and inform your followers, to come in right now? We won't take long. I'm going to speak a little bit. I'm actually just going to continue what we were discussing last week. Add a few more thoughts, and then I'll take some questions, and then we'll be done for the day, okay? Thank you, Dr. Ayola from Ibejuleki, Lagos, and Wina from Canada. Steven is in Nigeria. Sheung is in Lagos. Chooks is in Lagos. Joseph is in Ogo. Manuel is in Maiduguri. Bola is from Osho. Fortress is in Abuja. Gloria. Abraham is in the UK. Collins in Abia. Adora in Lagos, Favor in Port Harcourt, King in Lagos, Bamigwe in Ogo, Dr. Aaron is in the US. Amazing. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Olukunle from Lagos. Good. Rich movie. Ofe Bakpevi from Benin Republic. That's one country I like, really. I went there the first time. When I was a teenager. Yes, I went to Cotonou and up north to Save. He's from Benin City. Tina is in Lagos. Temi. Oh, good to see you, Temi. From Canada. Wow. Joseph from Nairobi. Oh, thank you so much. I'm not a pastor, but I've learned a lot from you. Thank you. Thank you, Joseph. So, yes, I wear many hats, right? I'm a pastor, I'm a leadership coach, I'm an author, I'm a global speaker, and all that. So yes, we have a lot to share together. Thank you, Peter from Lagos and Solomon from the US. Wow, so many people today. Okay, so you're going to excuse me, right? Bernard is watching from Accra. Well, Bernard, I'm going to be in Accra, right? Okay, speaking this week at the Dolos conference with Dr. Mensa Otabil. David from Abuja, Alex from Jamaica, amazing. Edo Lagos, Bitayo, UK. Thank you so much, right? Grace Benue, Uru from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. That's amazing. Jacob is in Zambia, joining for the first time. But I have been eating from your fruits. Oh, thank you, Jacob. Thank you. Larry Waju is in Swindon in the UK. Amazing. Thank you. Bonsoir, mentor Dr. Simon. Comment vous allez? Thank you. Merci beaucoup. Thank you, everyone. Oh, amazing. Okay, so I had an amazing experience last week. Amazing. I was in Accra, Ghana. I was speaking at the business summit of the Church of Pentecost, which is the largest church denomination in Ghana. And it was amazing, right? I was teaching the shifts principles from a very unique angle, right? I spoke on start with what you have. Yeah, how to recognize your assets, because all of us have assets, but most of us ignore them, right? We don't recognize them, so we're unable to leverage them. So, and you've got to always learn to start with what you have, not what you don't have. I don't know. Many of us just grew up with this mindset. Many of us, honestly, I'm that was me, right? We grew up with this idea that what we don't have is what we need to start. And then our language is, if I had this, I will do that. If I had that already presupposes that I don't have what I need to start. If I had, and I was saying, cut off the if, find out what you have actually. And that's good enough to start with. As long as you believe that what you don't have is what you need to start, you never start. What you don't start, you can continue, talk less of finishing. Okay, so that was amazing. But the high point, right? There was just this turning point. It's this thing about when you take action, you don't even know everything that is on the other side of the action that you take. So my good friend, Dr. Joseph Ajepon, the chairman of the Jospon Group of Companies, he just said, I've been reading the Shifts book. I've been carrying it with me everywhere I've gone. I've been marking everywhere. He said, you know what? Our leaders in this country need to hear you. Just pick this phone and called, and immediately got appointments, and I was able to present signed copies, autographed copies to the cabinet secretary, right? That's the secretary to the cabinet of the Republic of Ghana, and then the Speaker of the Parliament. And I was able also to present a signed copy to him. And both promised to read. They are professors, right? They both promised to read. And that makes me happy, because my big vision, right? My big vision is to see nations transformed through the shifts principles. It's a tall order, right? Tall vision, but that's what dreams are made of, right? They're not supposed to be realistic. Wow. So thank you everyone for joining. I don't want to keep you. It's pretty late where I am. So, and I know it's the same for several other people. Okay. So I'm going to talk for a few minutes, and then you'll be able to ask your questions. But until then, don't post your questions yet. When I'm ready, I'll ask you to post them in the chat room. Oh, this is the book I'm talking about, right? Shifts, 6 steps to transform your mindset and elevate your leadership. Powerful transformation principles. I wrote this book with the knowledge that most transformation efforts fail. Most attempts made by people to change their lives fail. Most attempts made by organizational leaders to transform their organizations change. And of course, it's obvious, most attempts to transform nations fail. Right? Good. So thank you so much. Sam, we started this discussion on personal branding, right? Yes, last week we started this discussion on personal branding. Thank you everyone for joining us. Please remember, share, invite someone, let them know something is going on here. Right? Good. Let me see what is going on. Right. Okay. Here we go. Thank you everyone. I can see so many people from Nigeria, from Canada, from the UK, right? From around the US. Amazing. Thank you. And my friend in California, Pastor Shea in Lagos. Thank you. Thank you, Modupe in Toronto. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Amazing. Oh, Brandy. Wow, good to see you. Oh, she's amazing. She moderated the panel at the Ultra Shift conference in Houston. That's another amazing experience that I had just less than 2 weeks ago. I was in Houston, Texas, and it was a blast, honestly. Thank you. Okay, he says, I've been learning from your teachings since 2017, and I must say you are the best coach I have had. Oh my God. Thank you. Oh, thank you for the compliments. Thank you. I'm going to get better and better and better and better and better. Okay. All right. Oh, thank you, brother. I miss you all too at Houston. Amazing people. Omalayo. You must be a professor, right? Watching from South Africa. Amazing. 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 Thank you. Okay, so let me speak first to those of us that are successful already on this call, right? You know, like you're aware that those who have been with us, I've been in this business now for some 30 years, right? Last month, we celebrated the 30th anniversary of Success Power, you know, of when I went on radio and began to teach people how to succeed. And what I've come to observe is success can't be your only aspiration. There are loads of successful people that are not happy. Loads of successful people that are not fulfilled. Why? Because you just find out after you've achieved those basic survival goals, right? Now you can afford to eat anything you want to eat. You have houses to live in. You have money in the bank. Yes, you have beautiful relationships. Yeah, you earn the respect of people around. Your heart is still yearning for something. It's fulfillment. It's a sense of meaning. At some point, you begin to ask yourself, what is life all about? Is this all there is to it? My first call today is to you. You need to move from success to significance. You need to move from success, which is just survival, which is just about you surviving, to you living a life that has value, a life that makes impact. You need to take the influence business seriously, right? Okay, so most of us would prefer, right, to just quietly enjoy our lives, quietly enjoy our money, right? That's the kind of a life I would love to live. honestly, oh my God. Yeah, it's not everybody that likes to be famous. It has its pros and cons. It has its pros and cons. I prefer to live a quiet life, quietly, to have a lot of money, and to quietly enjoy the money. The only thing is, you want to do that, but you realize with time, you can't separate yourself from the environment. So whatever is going on in the political landscape, right, government policies and so on, whatever is going on in the technological landscape, whatever is going on with the population, shifts in demography, even the weather is affecting your life, right? So you've got to be concerned about what's going on in our world. So if you say, oh no, I just want to enjoy, whatever it is will come and meet you and affect your enjoyment. So you've got to contribute your quota to improving the quality of our world. And the best way to do it is to influence people. It is people that decide the quality of this world. Promise you that. Okay? So you need to build and to use your influence. And it is actually becoming even more important now that we're in the digital age. It's actually becoming more important now. Your personal brand, building your personal brand is becoming more important now. Building and using your influence is becoming more and more important, okay? So your brand is the thing that makes you unique to your audience, right? Your brand is the thing that allows your unique audience to identify you and to identify the unique value that you have to add to them, okay? Your brand is the thing that allows your unique audience to identify you and to identify the unique value that you have to add to them. You don't need everybody in the world. Honestly, you just need your own people, okay? You need the people that highly value you, right? And highly value what you have to add to this world, okay? I remember how before I went on radio and began to teach people basic principles for success, how I so needed to be needed. Let me put it that way. In other words, I had an idea what I was passionate about and what my gifts were, right? I knew that I value knowledge. I do. I consume knowledge. You can see it in the books behind me, right? I consume knowledge at a massive rate. On the average, I'm reading 3 or 4 books at the same time, okay? And I like to process. I am impatient with theoretical knowledge, right? Knowledge that is confusing or that I can't apply to my life, right? So I like to process knowledge and to put it in forms that can be very useful to people, right? I think that's the work of genius, right? To handle the complexity, but by the time you deliver whatever it is that you have, to the people consuming your products or your services, it is delivered to them in simplicity. Many of us use our phones without reading the manual, am I right? Yeah, because the people manufacturing the phones have made it so easy, for us to start the phones and to use them. That's the way I deal with knowledge. Fine. My puzzle a little over 30 years ago was why I was not being invited to speak at conferences. That was my puzzle. And then I got this inspired idea to go on radio. Once the broadcast started, it was like boom. The invitations just started pouring. And it was like, oh, okay, what just happened? What changed? And I realized people were not inviting me to speak at their conferences, one, because they did not know me. Secondly, they did not know my message. They did not know the unique value that I had to add to them. Almost every invitation that I got to speak had to do with success. If the conference had to do with success, then there was the likelihood that I was going to be invited, or my name was at least going to come up in the discussion for the selection of speakers. You see what I mean? So people need to know you, and people need to know the unique value that you have to add. This discussion is very important because your brand is one of your major assets. Your brand is one of your major assets, especially, remember, in this digital age. When you said asset before, your mind went to buildings, your mind went to land, your mind went to equipment. But this is the digital age. Intangible assets, they are so powerful, and they actually are they give you speed. It's phenomenal, right? It's the digital platforms that connect the whole world together right now. So it is just so important for you, therefore, to treat your brand as an asset. And we say that money follows assets, right? Influence also follows assets to a large extent. Money follows assets. Okay. So I have maybe 2 or 3 things to share with us today, and then I'll put a stop to it. First, you want to build your personal brand. You need to define your philosophy. We call it we call the sum total of these points or these issues your philosophy. You need to define your purpose. You need to define your vision. You need to define your values. Notice they're intangibles, but they're powerful. Purpose is the reason for the existence of the thing. You need to reflect deeply, to ask yourself, why are you in this world, right? That, I said, for those of us that are successful already, we've got to go beyond success to significance. And I said that significance level actually deals with your purpose, deals with your sense of meaning, the reason for your existence, right? At some point, you just realize there's a whole lot more to life than eating food, a whole lot more to life than having a good house to live in. Your heart will still yearn for more, okay? The earlier you contemplate these issues, reflect deeply on them, the better for you. There is nothing valuable that man has created that was not created for a purpose, created to meet a need, created to solve a problem, created to do something, right? Let me give you a few clues when it comes to this purpose issue. First, I recommend you read the book, The Purpose-Driven Life by Rick Warren. The Purpose-Driven Life, what on earth am I here for? Okay. But let me give you a few clues to your purpose. Number one, your design reveals your purpose. Just look at everything that man has created, everything, right? Everything, right? Everything. Everything, including my bookshelf. The purpose is in the design. The purpose is in the design. The design reveals the purpose. So look at your design as a person. There's a reason why you're male. There's a reason why you're female. There's a reason why you're an introvert. There's a reason why you're an extrovert, right? There's a reason why you're a super introvert. There's a reason why you're a super extrovert. The purpose is in the design, okay? So when you look at what you have, you ask yourself, so what problem or problems are my gifts, my talents, my design capable of solving? I told you earlier, I value knowledge. and I value the application of knowledge. That's what we call wisdom, right? I value in between the two, right? Knowledge and its correct application to get the results you want is understanding, right? I value the three. Okay. What problem does that solve? Ignorance. It solves the problem of ignorance. Some of us are fantastic when it comes to food. You're fantastic. What problem does that solve? Hunger, right? Good. So that's how you find your purpose. So many people struggle in business because it doesn't take long for you to begin to feel like you're a parasite when people tell you no, when you're trying to sell to them. It all starts from you and your own sense of identity. Why should you be discouraged with that? Everybody can't need what you have. But this is important, right? How you see yourself. You're not a pest disturbing people to buy something. You are out to help people solve problems. So if you sell food or you cook food, you're solving the hunger problem. What business are you in? I'm in the business of solving the hunger problem. If you're into fashion designing or you sell clothes, you solve the problem of nakedness, one of the biggest problems in this world, right? Oh, whenever I'm in Atlanta, there's a channel I listen to on radio, and the weather person there introduces herself and says, this is da, and I am here on this station to keep your family safe. The first time I heard it, I was stunned. What a narrative to give the job of a weatherman. Oh my God. Wow. So she doesn't say, oh, and I'm here just to let you know what the weather is going to be. No. What problem is it solving? Because that is where you can define the value that you are adding. Okay, so check your design. Okay. Secondly, check your passion. Check your what is it that really bothers you? The lack of use of the mind or the waste of the mind, that bothers me big time. Because from my understanding, a human being can never perform better than the quality of their thinking. Okay? So education bothers me a lot. The quality of education in a country or a community, that bothers me a lot, right? So what's the thing that bothers you really? What's the problem that really bothers you that you feel that you must do something about? Your experiences. So what are the things you found yourself doing and achieving success with ease where others struggled? And what are the things you've tried where you failed woefully? It just did not work out. Fine, check your past experiences, right? Good. I'll say this finally. Your life is too small to be the purpose of your life. You'll never find the purpose of your life focusing only on yourself. You'll find it focusing on other people and their needs. Okay? Good. So your vision is projecting that purpose and looking 10 years, 20, 30 years from now. Who are you going to be? Where are you going to be? What are you going to be doing? That picture is absolutely important in defining your personal brand. And then your values are important. The standards, the principles that dictate or that must dictate your behavior for you to arrive at the fulfillment of that vision, your values. So when you look at the sum total, we have what we call your philosophy. This is very important because this is going to undergird everything. This is going to undergird that's what's going to come out from you, whether you're conscious of it or not. By the way, let me tell you an interesting story. So after my sweetheart, Dr. Nika, and I were engaged or had started a relationship, right? And I was to meet her parents for the first time. I was a bit apprehensive because at that time, all I was doing was I was the branch pastor of a church, right? And it had just started, maybe a year and a half or two before that. Yeah, actually, a little over a year. My father-in-law is a professor, a scientist. So it was like, what's a professor going to think? It wasn't fashionable to be a pastor at that time. Okay. So this was 30-something years ago. Truly, when I met him, we greeted, he was pleasant, and then he fired a question I absolutely was not expecting, and I've never had that question before. He said, "So, what is the philosophy of your church?" I said, "What? Philosophy and church inside the same sentence?" Gratefully, my pastor at that time, Reverend George Adeboye, had repeated over and over and over the matching orders that he got, the inspired thoughts that he got, or direction that he got for the church. He said God told him to take the word of God to the nations, emphasizing its integrity. So I just explained that sentence, right? And Professor was satisfied. Obviously, right? Oh, it's over 31 years now, we'll be married. So I passed. What's your brand? What's your personal philosophy? Okay, that's where it starts from. So the other thing is you've got to have a clear identity, right? You've got to have a clear identity. What is it that when people see it, they remember you? You come to mind. That's why you have a name, right? Your name is part of your brand. When your parents gave you your names, they were branding you to separate you from everybody else, to make you a unique person, right? So that's, of course, what we do in branding. Okay, so how do you establish a clear identity in people's minds? You know how organizations do it. When people see a particular logo, right, a design and some colors, right, and some shapes, immediately, right, this organization comes to their minds. So what are the things that make you distinct, really? What are the things that make you distinct? Your philosophy, your message, your passion, right? The unique value that you add, the unique problem that you solve, and the unique value that you add. Now, to establish an identity in people's minds it's not a small deal. The big word is consistency. How did you get to know that your name was your name? It was because you had that name over and over and over and over and over. After some time, because everybody in your family looked at you when they called that name, then it dawned on you, that had to be your name, right? And they weren't calling you different names every day. It had to be the same thing. So if you're going to establish an identity in people's minds, you've got to be saying the same thing. They've got to be seeing the same thing. They've got to be feeling the same thing from you for a long time. Consistency is a big deal. I was reflecting on this point and realized I've been talking about changing mindsets for some 40 years. In fact, I was looking through my library at some of the small books. I read many books I had written before, right? They're going to come back out in some format later. This one is titled Think and Succeed. Right? Can you see the think there? Okay, let me check. When this was published, 1999. 1999 was how long ago? 26 years, right? There's this one titled Wonders of Imagination. I've been talking about the use of the mind for a few years. All right. These also published 1999. There's this interesting one titled The Second Revolution, out of print now. The books are going to come back, okay, in new formats, right? 2006, right? So 19 years ago. There's one titled Ideas Rule the World. I love it. In fact, this one, I think this one is going to, we're working on this right now. It's going to come back fresh, right? I've had so many stories. Year 2000, right? Same thing. So if you see shifts, 6 steps to transform your mindset is there, right? Consistency. If you're going to build a brand, you've got to be consistent, okay? Thank you, Victor. Amazing titles, yeah. You're going to see them. So some of my titles are on Amazon. So apart from shifts, you have the parable of dollars. You have success is who you are. You look into success is who you are. It's the same things. How you change from the inside out, right? So thank you. Yes, Sam says that book, Think and Succeed, blessed me immensely. I've read all your books over the years. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Bralade. The correlation is linear, right? Fantastic. So, yes, I'm going to stop here. I think that's enough for today. Be intentional about building your brand. You know, we did something at the Shift conference in Lagos. When we thought of our strategy, I understand the culture. I understand the culture in Africa. I understand how the average African does not connect knowledge to the results that they want to get. I understand it. I understand they can find an easy connection between prayer and the results, between champs and the results. Yeah. One of our staff at Success Power in Nigeria, was buying something at the market. And the seller said, "Oh, beautiful lady, where do you work?" She said, "Success Power." He said, "Success Power?" Now, he was saying this in one of our local languages in Nigeria. Power. Wow. Power. The power to succeed. And then the next thing he said showed his understanding of the power. He said, "How much is it?" "Auntie, how much is it? Where is your office so I can come to buy it?" In his mind, he's thinking it's a charm. It's something tangible that he will be given that will help him to create success. Right? It's the culture. So don't be surprised, therefore. Whereas maybe in the US, you would have a conference where people are paying hundreds and thousands of dollars, and you will see the place packed with thousands of people. In Africa, that's tough, right? So you know what we did? We leveraged my brand. And approached the people who've been listening to me, my audience, my crowd, who've been listening to me for some 30 years, who know exactly the value of the things that I share, and then asked them to support the crusade, the campaign, for transforming people's lives through the message on leadership. So we asked them to be partners to make the conference happen. It's amazing. We had so many partners, and you would have seen, if you were following us, you would have seen it, because I had to then record a video and thank them for their support. But they made it possible for us to have a massively successful conference. What did we do there? We extracted value from my brand. These people know me, they trust me, because that's what happens when you have an effective brand. People trust you. They trust the brand. So I don't lie to them. I don't cheat to them. I deliver on my promises. People don't even doubt the fact that I really want people to succeed, right? That's my number one priority. Anything else that comes is fringe benefit. I give my very best, right? When I teach people. So thank you, Angela. I hope it's been worth your time. Okay, so that's it. Few tips today for building your brand. This is going to be on YouTube, so you can watch it over and over and over. You have any questions for me? Before we go, I can take some 2 or 3. While we are at that, right? While we are at that, I have a small group of people. We have a community we call the Inner Circle, and I meet with them almost every month. We meet on Zoom, and they can ask me questions, and we get to share. And more importantly, everyone is on the platform on circle.o, and you can actually interact with the people in the community 24/7. I have a link tree, right? If you go on my bio, or you can just type this linktr.ee/Sam into your browser, it will take you to my link tree, and you will see all the things we do there. So the Inner Circle is going to be there. You're going to see it. One other thing you will see there is our next event in Lagos, Nigeria. It's called the Business and Leadership Accelerator Roundtable. Now, this is going to be a really small sized event, and it is for people who want to go 10x, 100x, or 1000x, right? In the things in our organizations, both in the leadership coaching side and even on the church side, we're multiplying this year, period. Now, there are certain strategies for making that happen. That's what the conference is about. And it will be on Friday the 23rd and Saturday the 24th of May in Lagos, Nigeria. And it will be somewhere between 50 and 100 people. Somewhere between 50 and 100. On the Friday, we're going to have a welcome dinner, and we'll do networking. Now, because of the caliber of people that will be there, business is very likely to happen. Relationships will certainly happen. That's where some people make their money back at the conference, the networking. On the Saturday, almost the whole day, we'll be together. So we'll be discussing those principles for going 10x, 100x, and then I'll bring in 1 or 2 of my business friends, experienced business friends, and we're going to solve real problems for people right there, right, to help their businesses to shift. So there's a link for that also on that link tree, Business and Leadership Accelerator Conference. The seats are limited, like I said, so to be good, you grab yours fast. Good. Do I have any question yet? Okay, let me ask first. Has this been useful? Has this been helpful at all? Thank you, Simon. Okay, good. Let's go to the questions. Let's go to the questions fast. Let's go to the questions. Oh, wow. This is a testimonial. Oluwajobi John. Thank you, sir, for all your books. I have many of them, especially Start With What You Have. That book launched me into the business that is sustaining me now. Whoa. Amazing. Yes. It's one of the books I'm working on repackaging to bring to the global audience shortly. Tina Shea is asking a good question. You said you read 3 books at a time. How many hours do you spend studying per day? Good question. It depends, right? It depends. It depends. Sometimes my time is pressured. Sometimes it's not so pressured. Now, on the average in a day, I would invest like an hour reading minimum, right? Minimum. When I have now, I take advantage of travel time. I fly a lot. So I always take 1 or 2 books with me on the flight. Now, there will be more books, right, in my hand luggage. But the one I'm holding, I'm usually actually holding 1 or 2 as I go into the flight. So as the plane is taking off, I start reading, right? So sometimes I read a chapter, sometimes I read 2. And the reason why I read 3 or 4 is because I actually need to read what I need to use per time sometimes. So I'm not reading the whole book. So some of those books I'm carrying around, I've read before. So when I pick the book, it is the places that I marked. or some specific chapters that I'm going to, right? But then usually there's also a new book that I'm reading, 1 or 2 chapters or sections per time. So by the time you add my reading time on a flight together, like if I'm flying between Atlanta and Lagos, Nigeria, then the likelihood is that I'm reading anywhere from 2 to 4 hours on one flight, right? So I take advantage of travel time a lot. But on a normal day, I have books near my bed. In the morning, my mind is fresh. That's the best time. That's the best time to invest in my mind. So I will invest very likely an hour at least in a day reading. I hope that helps. Now, sometimes I buy a book or I remember when I loaned a book, The Fourth Dimension by Yonggi Cho. Used to be pastor of the largest single congregation in the world. Oh my God. I read the book overnight, right? Slept little, finished it in the morning. I loaned it from someone. Then I went back to chapter 1 and finished it by evening. Twice, right? Within 2 days. It was the first time ever I would do that. I remember I was at the shopping mall in Dubai with Dr. Nike, and we reached an agreement, right? Because I was tired of walking around. So she went off shopping, and I was to sit down at one end of the shopping mall to wait for her. Then I remembered we passed by a bookshop some floors up. So I ran to the bookshop. I was looking through, then I saw this book, by Malcolm Gladwell, The Outlier. That was many years ago. The book had just come out, and I had read The Tipping Point by Malcolm Gladwell. I saw The Outlier. I bought it. Oh my God. I could not sleep. So sometimes, yes, I do that. I take a book. It's so good. I stay with it till I finish it. Sometimes within 24 hours. And Yola says, how do you effectively communicate your values through your personal brand? I'm considering this from the content standpoint. Oh, well, I think, I'm sorry about that. Let me make sure it's not coming back. Good. So, see, living out the values is the most effective way to communicate the values. You've got to live them out. Once there's a difference between what you're saying and what you're doing, and this is true for the individual as well as it is for the organization, you've got to work really hard. People see you more than they hear you, right? Like the famous saying, action speaks louder than voice. Yeah. It's very important that you actually live out the values. I hope to buy your book Shift. I hope if I get the hard copy, I'll be opportune to get the audio version. Yeah, there are separate books. So the hard copy is, and some of us like to have all possible versions, right? Yes. So you get the hard copy. There's also the e-copy. It's available right now on Kindle, on Amazon, and on Wiley.com and some other platforms like that. They're selling the e-version, and it's cheaper, and you can begin to read it immediately. The audio version is being produced by the largest distributor of audiobooks in the world. It's a separate company on its own, right? Just given rights by the publishers, Wiley. So 6th of May, that's the release date for the audiobook. So you can also get that separately so that you can have the book in different formats, but they are recognized as separate books with their separate international standard book numbers, right? So we have to pay for each separately. How can I grow in my career? How can I accelerate growth in my current work? Do your work with excellence. Make your boss happy, right? And one of these, I'll tell you one simple secret. Put yourself in your boss's place. Think like the CEO of your organization. Just assume if I was the CEO of this organization, what would I do? You know what it will do? That will give you a sense of ownership. Some people are detached from the overall success of the organization. They just want to collect their salary. It doesn't get you that far. When you put yourself in the place of the CEO, you'll be amazed. It will give you a different perspective to the way the whole organization is run. It will broaden your perspective. You will think beyond your immediate job, think beyond your own department, think for the overall success. You will get fantastic ideas for some other parts of the business that are not even within your job description. So you will be adding massive value to the growth of the organization. That's what brings you to the attention of the people who can create your promotion in either your organization or in your industry. Kenneth says, would love to read Ideas Rule the World. Sounds captivating. Honestly, it's amazing. I was on a flight some 3 weeks ago, and a gentleman, a businessman, walked up to me and said, your book, Ideas Rule the World, was what completely transformed my business. Okay, so not long from now, hopefully in a matter of weeks, we'll have it available for us. How does one build a coaching, consulting, business brand simultaneously as a Fortune 100 corporate leader? So that shouldn't be difficult at all. You're just leveraging your success, okay? Don't see it as, a brand new career that you have to start right from the low level, from the bottom. Oh, no. It's actually just leveraging your success so far to empower the people that are coming after you in your industry or in life. Simple. What is my message, right? What am I passionate about addressing? Coaching, consulting comes in different ways, right? I major on the subjects of success and leadership. And then what gives me the authority to speak to you? These are my accomplishments. You need to be able to articulate them clearly, right? And then make sure you're publishing, right? Your social media platforms. You've got to give free first. Some of the most successful businesses in the world right now are the ones that give free the most, right? You go on Facebook, they don't ask you to pay before you open an account, and you can post here and there. It's free. You go on Google, you search anything you want to search. It's free, right? You need to give a lot of free content out. That's the only way people will know you and know what your message is, right? And then when people have tasted what you have and they want more, then fine, you can let them know what it would take for it to happen. So it really shouldn't be that difficult, because you still have the room to own your own media platforms. And I mean social media, right? So you test the different platforms, try to find out who your ideal audience or target is, and the best way to connect with them. And then just pump out a lot of information that can be helpful to them. How do you manage yourself, vision, and results effectively if you are multi-talented? Okay, good. Don't do all the talents at the same time, right? That's it. Test all of them though, but find the one that I consider that I would call the door opener, right? The one that people respond to the most presently. You will go through different phases and different seasons in life, but you need that one that will give you leverage, especially the one people are willing to pay for. Go there first, right? Go there first. Build that first. And then when you've achieved success in one area, you can then leverage that success to build other areas. Kalawale says, great to hear from you today. Enjoy the Shift conference. Thank you. The Shift conference was super amazing. Super amazing. Tips on how to start a business with impact. Well, I'm not sure if you are asking the question in the sense in which we talk about impact in the business world these days. Because there are people we call impact investors, right? Now, these are people who don't just want to make money. They also want to add value to the community. They want to solve major problems in the society, right? So this means that one, you've got to research what you are passionate about, the problem you are passionate about solving, and then see whether there is any business value, right, in solving that problem. It's not every problem that you solve that's going to yield you a profit. If it's a business, then of course you've got to make some profit, right? So you find the meeting point between those two and you go for it, right? Victor is asking, when will Shift be available in Lagos? It's in Lagos as we're speaking. It's in Lagos as we're speaking. It's available at Roving Heights Bookshop. Roving Heights. You can Google it, or you can go on social media and search for at Roving Heights, and you'll find them. Okay. If I just tweet at them or send them a DM, they will respond to you fast. You can also find Shifts at the Family First Bookshop, which is located inside the premises of Daystar Christian Center, Oregon, Ikosi Road, Oregon, Lagos. All right, let me see. Winner is asking, we're almost done. Just one or two more. Winner is asking, for a beginner, I want to start writing. How can I start? Okay. See your book as a branding tool. Presently, a book is probably your best business card. Okay. That's where people will get to experience you. Get ready to write a lot of your stories. That will help you to write quickly, and it will actually help people to enjoy your book. A lot of my stories are in shifts, right? So when you define the subject you want to address, then try and break it down into chapters, right? Break the narrative down into 4, 5, 6, 7 chapters, right? Then you can start writing, right? You can start writing. Devote a particular time of the day if you can. If you want to be a professional author, this is going to be very important for you. You need to have a particular time of the day that you try to write. Maybe a sentence, maybe a paragraph. And some days you may just have a fantastic flow, right? Now, somebody says, but I have difficulty writing. Do you find it easier to speak? Use your phone and record. Just talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk, right? Later, there are softwares you can use to transcribe, or you can pay someone a small amount of money, a young person a small amount of money to help you transcribe, right? And then you can get an editor to then help you to treat what you have transcribed, okay? But at least your thoughts will be structured because you already created the chapters. Good starting point there. All right. How can I accelerate growth in my business in the midst of family challenges and economic challenges? Now, that's a whole seminar, right? That's what Business and Leadership Accelerator Roundtable is about in May. the important thing is it's not a time for you to shrink. It's the time for you to expand. Don't focus on resources. Focus on resourcefulness. You just need to think and think enough. Starting point, set a big goal. See, what you're going through and the limitations and the scarcity may tempt you not to set big goals, but that would be a big mistake. Set a big goal, okay, that will launch you out of that situation, and then spend a lot of time reading, thinking, researching on how, and be very flexible. Don't insist on using the methods you used before. No, you need to free your mind to capture crazy ideas. Share your ideas with smart people around you, not people that will run you down or tell you it's impossible to do it. Smart people. You'll be amazed at some of the ideas you will get. And honestly, it is those ideas that will launch you out. Okay. One more. Sorry, I won't be able to take all. Sorry. With how busy life has become, what is your advice you give a young pastor who is starting a church? How many hours can one put in prayer and still be able to handle life? Right. So, for a start, right, establish your work hours, right? Don't leave it open-ended. Is it 8 to 4 or 9 to 5? Establish those work hours, right? I'm assuming that the pastoring is all you're doing. I'm going to address the other possibility, but assuming the pastoring is all you do, 9 to 5. Now, the amazing thing is that the prayer is a major part. It's a strategic duty for a pastor, because outside of God said there is no ministry. You are meant to receive from God and to give people. That is what makes your ministry massively value added. So don't separate the prayer from the job. It's actually part of the job, and you can use office hours to do it. Of course, you use your private time too. Okay. How long should you pray? Oh no. How long should you discuss with your dad? Right? How long should you communicate until you get what you need to give the people? Stay there as long as you need to. Right? It's not supposed to be a chore. Right? It's a dialogue. And when you download powerful things like I do, you don't want to run away. But then you can actually make it also a lifestyle. All through the day, I'm asking the Holy Spirit. It's either I'm saying, Holy Spirit, thank you, or I'm saying, Holy Spirit, what should I do? Or Holy Spirit, help me, right? That's the prayer. Okay? And then spend a lot of time also in study and in meditation, so you can have what to feed the people, right? And then separate some time for administration. But remember Acts chapter 6, verse 2. It is not reasonable for us to leave the word of God to serve tables. And verse 4 says, we will give ourselves continually to prayer and to the ministry of the word. And what they did there was to delegate the operations. Okay? So the administration should not consume you. Running around should not consume you. Delegate as much as you can. But the one you can't delegate, or you can't delegate, is hearing from God and having what to give the people. Okay. Now, if you are bivocational, you have a job and you also have the pastoring, then you need to do a lot more of the delegating. You've got to recruit people, train them, raise them as fast as you can, and delegate work to them. Okay. So you don't break down. Don't hurt yourself. I've seen many pastors do it. All right. So thank you. Thank you. Amazing. Thank you, everyone. Well, we've gone quite a bit over our normal time. So let me remind you that we have a once-in-a-year retreat that we call the C-Suite Retreat, and it's for founders and C-level leaders. That one, maximum 20 people. Okay. It's exclusive, and this year it's holding in Dubai. And we have a few seats left. If you're interested in finding out how that works and how you can jump in before all the seats are gone, please send me an email, info@samadeyemiglc.com, info@samadeyemiglc.com, and we'll get in touch with you as fast as possible. Some people ask, oh, can we do a one-on-one with you? Yes, exactly. It's possible. I do it. And please send me an email right to the same email. So let me ask, has this been useful? If this has been helpful, can you help me to type a Y? Y as in letter Y for yes. Y for yes. If this has been helpful today, if I get 5 Ys, then I'll know it's been worth the time. Thank you, Pastor Tim. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I got 5. Oh, I got more than 5. All right. All right. Thank you, everybody. Wow. I hope, yeah, you came in late, David. It's going to be on my YouTube page, Sam Adeyemi TV, so you can watch it over and over again. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Wow, fantastic. So you have an amazing week. Let me leave you with this. At the end of the day, if you're going to be successful in leadership, you've got to really care about people. Let love be your greatest motivation, not ambition, not money. They're not bad, but let your greatest motivation be that you really value people and you want to see the best improvement in their life. So till we see you again next week, all the best. Have an amazing and a prosperous week. Thank you. Bye for now.
Dear leader, the time of increased uncertainty, unpredictability, and volatility is not a time to shrink, it's a time to multiply. It's a time to expand. And that's exactly what we'll be doing at the Business and Leadership Accelerator Roundtable on May 23 and 24 in Lagos, Nigeria. I have passionately supported entrepreneurs and high-level professionals the last few decades to unleash their potential and to realize them. So this is going to be a very special event. I'm inviting 2 of my experienced business friends to join me in answering questions, in solving real problems. So the smartest thing you could do right now, grab your seats, and then I'll see you on May 23.